Okay. The title of this one is Trauma from Your Beauty. This is a topic that I found somebody talking about, right? That, of course, it will be the Exoticals United talking about this because this is a thing. This is a thing that I have not seen someone ever openly talk about, and I have never even searched it up. It's just something that I have gone through. Okay. You can really be traumatized from your own beauty. I need you to understand how deep this shit goes. You can be traumatized from being beautiful so much that you will play your beauty down. And that's so fucked up to do, right? And we talked about beauty and what beauty is, and I don't have to go into that. But what causes this type of trauma? It starts from when you are very, very young, that you can be traumatized by your beauty. Okay. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and play Exotical United talking about this, and I'm gonna go back again. This is gonna be a full show, actually. Um, uh, from what we were all talking about yesterday and stuff, we got to get a little bit further more into topics from yesterday because it's still continuing, and I got a few thoughts and stuff if you care to hear. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I like this layout better. Let's go. Fair use.
Of their own beauty. And part of this is because a lot of men see a woman's beauty as a threat. Um, and that's because men will ruin their marriages, they will lose their wealth over a woman's beauty, they will start wars over a woman's beauty, they will revolve their lives around approximating themselves to a beautiful woman. So if you happen to have been born with, some sort of beauty, oftentimes it starts from a young age where your parents will say stuff like, oh, you shouldn't wear makeup, or you don't need makeup, or don't wear those dresses because guys are going to harass you. So they almost instill this fear in you from the time you're a child that has to do with your beauty. People make it like if you're beautiful, that men can't control themselves. And in reality, it's like men should be able to control themselves. But I've noticed that because we live in a patriarchal society,
my brother literally has Mr. Beast read PDFs to him while he's driving.
The next world heiress visited shimmered before them.
So
people will put all of the pressure on the pretty girl to not show her body, to like not be sexual or be sexy in any way, and to make sure that she dresses modestly and that she doesn't draw attention to herself. And I've noticed that those projections tend to carry over into women as they reach their adulthood, because when you are the pretty girl growing up, oftentimes you experience jealousy from a young age. So maybe in elementary school or middle school or high school, people had crushes on you, or people just randomly didn't like you and you didn't know why. Or maybe some people even admitted to you, I was jealous of you because you were pretty. So once again, it kind of teaches you that your beauty, that your own beauty is something that's bad. It is something that repels friendships. It is something that causes people to want to use you. It is something that causes men to just see you as some sort of object or some sort of status symbol. It's something that can get you assaulted more easily. It is something that causes people to randomly hate you and to want to incite violence upon you because of your beauty. So I've noticed that due to this phenomenon, a lot of women actually end up kind of trying to hide their beauty as they get older. They end up being scared to embrace how they look. They end up being afraid to enhance their beauty in any way because they have a fear of the negative consequences that come with your beauty. So, one of those main negative consequences is jealousy. A lot of people don't realize that men can also be jealous of a pretty woman. This is why a lot of men who are abusive, when they break up with their girlfriends and stuff, they will try to trash her makeup. They will.
This is a topic that needs to be understood. Jealousy is a spirit thing. It is not limited to a gender. And if you want me to tell you the truth, the male gender, the male species will be the most jealous. But nobody wants to talk about that. No one wants to talk about that because even a woman who is extremely jealous is a male identified woman. No one wants to talk about that. See, y'all keep associating, well, Jay-Z said that stupid ass shit. No should be jealous of female trait. Not true at all. Not true at all. Most women who have experienced the fake friend experience have experienced it from male identified women. Every time she is a male identified woman, a woman identified woman is not jealous of another woman. She will never be jealous of another woman because she understands beauty. Okay? All of this stuff that has been going on predominantly in the Black community and other communities, which is the same. It should not bother somebody because a woman is putting on makeup. You know why it bothers these males? Because their mama didn't put on no motherfucking makeup. It should not bother somebody that a woman is dolling herself up to whatever hairstyle she desires to put her hairstyle in. You know why? Because their mama did not do that. I had a very beautiful mother. I have a very beautiful mother, excuse me, okay? I have a very beautiful grandmother, okay? Now, my grandma dolled herself up to the nine. You couldn't fuck with her beauty. I just don't even understand, But mother, she had a very simple, dressed down beauty. Nice jeans, nice fitted jeans. My mother always had a nice body. She's really short. She always had, t-shirts and sneakers. That was always her look for a very long time. She got older, probably 40s going into 50s, and she started wearing dresses and stuff like that. Always had long hair. Her mother had long hair. She always kept her hair short. My grandma has very long hair. I've seen pictures of her when she was younger. I was like, geez, she has long hair. But she always kept it cut short as she got older. So I've been around, and then I can go on and on. I have just a family of beautiful ass women. Like they're pretty. Sometimes I say they too goddamn pretty. That's why they act the way that they do. Anyway, you have people who they don't have this level of beauty around them. And this is why, again, because this is the Fake Friend series. That's why it's very key, for you to have beauty around you. And don't trust the girl who is ugly with all the beautiful friends, because you got to still check her. Like, does she feel ugly? Or, you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful with that, too. I'm going to just go ahead and let her do all the talking.
Will burn her clothes. They will try to throw out her hair extensions and stuff because they don't want her to have anything that could enhance her beauty, because a man
will hate fuck you. A male will hate fuck you women, okay? I need y'all to understand. They will hate fuck you because you are beauty, just to try to snatch away everything that makes you beautiful. You have to be able to identify this. This is why it's key to listen to women who teach you how to decenter men. Okay? It can go any way. Just being beautiful is a battle out here. I need you to understand. Beauty is a battle, okay? Your beauty can influence. That's why it's called influencers, because you being this beautiful woman can make the next woman start to dress up and wear certain things because of how you wear it, because of how you style it. You understand? Most beautiful women, we experience this. Some of us has experienced our own mothers looking like us, dressing like us, trying to style like us. I've seen mothers do shit like that.
Understand that beauty is a form of social power. So if you have any form of beauty whatsoever, and I'm not even saying you have to be like drop dead gorgeous, everything is perfect about you, but even having one or two beautiful features, that is something that can cause you to feel afraid when you're young, because you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with how I look? So on the one hand, people want to gaslight you as the pretty girl and say, well, your beauty doesn't matter anyway, and you need to be modest, and you need to have all of these other qualities besides beauty. But then when you actually go out into the real world, you see how people worship other women who look like you. You see how much people worship beauty. You see how much other women are trying to look like the woman who is considered beautiful. You see all of these ads and stuff where the women who are represented as being beautiful, they happen to have some of the same features as yourself. So I've noticed that a lot of women, they go throughout their whole lives having this confusion on not knowing what to do with their own beauty. And oftentimes it's really rooted in the fear of being seen. So a lot of women have a fear of being seen because first of all, they already get unwanted attention. So if you are considered the pretty girl, you're already going to deal with people harassing you. You're going to deal with people treating you like a celebrity, which means they're going to try to live vicariously through you. And yes, you might get some admirers, but you also get people who give you random criticism. They want to be all up in your business and like gossip about you. People will make up rumors about you. So a lot of women associate their own beauty with chaos. And so in order to avoid drama as they get older, especially if they don't want to be like some sort of supermodel or something, especially if they just want to live a normal, peaceful life, a lot of women will actually dumb down their beauty as a trauma response and as a protection mechanism because they're tired of people constantly making their beauty into a big deal, and they're tired of having who they are on the inside being overlooked, or they're tired of people saying that they're only successful because of their beauty. So they just want to live their lives without having to depend on their beauty and also without their beauty being a distraction to what they're trying to do. But the bad thing about this is if your beauty does fade over time, like let's say you get older, let's say you gain a bunch of weight, or I don't know, for whatever reason, that beauty goes away. I've noticed that oftentimes women look back and they feel like they have wasted their beauty. They feel like they wasted the time when they were the most beautiful. They wasted that time being insecure. Like I know that for me, I look back on my early 20s, that was when I was like the most in shape physically. That was when I was extremely skinny, literally like a size 0 at 5'9". And I remember still thinking that I was fat when I was clinically underweight because of all of the projection and people kind of like hating on me and making me feel like I wasn't good enough. I still felt like I was fat. And so I didn't have the confidence that I should have had at that time, partially because people were maliciously trying to break down my confidence from the time I was younger. And I've noticed that this is the case for a lot of women who grow up being seen as the pretty one. This channel focuses on mixed race black women or black women who look mixed. So oftentimes if you fit the phenotype of who I discuss on this channel, then you were born already meeting.
Building a better workplace requires great tools. So if you're in HR, onboarding is like a cement truck laying on the foundation, and time tracking is like a nail.
Let me take this moment to say, this woman is smart. Okay, this woman is very smart. I like her. You're very smart, Exoticals United. You really are.
That beauty standard or being closer to that beauty standard. So you've probably had people gaslighting you from the time you were a child, saying you think you're all that, you think you're better than others. You're cocky, you're arrogant, you're conceited, you're a snob, you're a spoiled brat. So a lot of young women who meet the beauty standard, especially if they are women of color, they have been conditioned to believe that they are snobs, even if they're not, even if you're just a child. Like I remember some of my own family members saying that I think I'm all that when I was just a child. So I've noticed that if you already meet the beauty standard, if you exude any form of confidence whatsoever, people are going to say that you are a snob. People are going to say that like you're delusional, your head is in the clouds, you know, you have a big head, you have such a big ego, and that's why you're like saying all of these things. A lot of people will invalidate your traumas if you are considered the pretty girl. They will say like, oh, you're living life on easy mode, so you shouldn't have anything to complain about. So then this trains these pretty young women to grow up as adults and to stay silent about the traumas they've experienced. This teaches pretty women to be people pleasers, so to kind of like lay down and take it and be a doormat if somebody is mean to them. And also I've noticed that a lot of people, they tend to have more empathy for a woman if she is considered unattractive. So as the pretty woman, you can't really play the victim card. You don't get to talk about your traumas and vent and stuff and have people have empathy for you. Like on this channel every single day I have people coming on here saying, oh, this is stupid, like this is not a real thing, you guys are all delusional. And we can't all be lying. There can't be 14,000 of us who are going through these things and we're all making it up.
And I'm proud that I'm gonna see if anybody else is talking about this, but I'm just proud that somebody is speaking about this. Like, this is a real thing. This right here is a very, very real thing. And the reason, you remember, I had explained to you in the series, I said that when you have that fake friend around you, you'll find yourself downgrading you. And I told you the example of the fake friend. It could be a coworker, it could be any of that. Like, you won't be that beauty that you once always was, or how you've been. You'll convince yourself, well, I'm at work and I do this work that's labor ridden and this, that, and the third. What reason do I need to look like this? No, that's the reason you do need to look like this, because that's where you are on your consistent day. That's a part of your day. That's a part of where you go out. The key to also keeping skincare routine, cleaning routine, any type of healthcare, self-care routine, because self-care is you. That's what you have to do for, I would say, majority of your life. And I'm going to show you some videos of some elderly women who do that. And so that is your well-being, is your self-care. And the beauty of your own self-care is, hey, like me, I got sick. Okay, I'll admit that I got sick. And so here I am drinking cold detox tea, hot detox tea, mixed with what's this called? Throat coat, right? Mixed with that. I did that for my intuition. I didn't look it up. I didn't open a book, nothing. I just did it all for my intuition. Okay. And then I just took some lime and I put some lime in my tea. Then I went and looked up all the things that I had inside of my tea. And I saw the pattern of what it was for: immunity, for the heart, inflammation. It just kept saying those three things: immunity, the heart, and inflammation, everything. Then I went and just got some vegetables and just ate them. Some butter beans and some cabbage, right? Ate that up. Got some cabbage left over from the can. Okay, I admit that. And I put that in. My health said same thing: immunity, heart health, inflammation, right? And also gut health, right? It was saying gut health as well from what I had with the vegetables and stuff. And so then it was saying to be careful with the sodium in the can. Make sure you rinse the sodium out make sure you rinse the sodium out the can, and it takes it down 40%. So I learned something. I said, okay, 40%, that's a big number. I said, okay, I'll start doing that. Or I'll just start purchasing dry beans and start cooking them and just eating them like that. You see what I'm saying? So all of these little things that I'm doing for my self-care, this is how I'm tapping in intuitively to myself. You see? I don't have to go to a nutritionist and all that. Did I reach out to one? Yeah. But I was like, man, if they got books and stuff, I'll just read their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I just was liking the energy and where they were located. Me personally, I'm always drawn to people who are Caribbean. Anybody who's Caribbean or Asian that does any type, Caribbean, Asian, and East Indian, any of them that does any type of health with the body, with eating, all kind of stuff, I always refer to them. Okay. When it comes to skincare, Asian is when I go to. When it comes to waxing hair or anything on the body, I go to Europeans for that. These are all the different things, how I work and how I've been working with that. Now, getting back to this beauty thing. You do your self-care because your self-care builds your standards. See? So if you eat a certain way and you live a certain way, which is how you take care of yourself, is how you live. You're not going to want to even energetically associate with people who are the opposite of it, because it feels like it's going to interrupt what you got going on. So when your job has that thing where everybody is eating, right? You're going to go eat what you're going to eat. Well, I'm speaking for myself, eat what I want to eat because it's for my well-being, right? Why am I eating this way? I'm eating my food as medicine. You see, see my mindset, developing that. Now, getting back again, skincare, all this other stuff, body care, home care, right? All of these different things. So now everything is piling up, adding up, adding up. And then it's going to go into taking a walk, exercising, lifting weights, whatever it is. The body is going to start moving with just the beginning of just that self-care. Also, with the self-care, you're going to have self-care even while you're at work, right? So you ain't going to do no crazy heavy lifting if you don't have to. You see, you're not going to sit down and put extra anything into it if you don't have to, because everything is going to be about your health and your well-being. You see what I'm saying? And it's going to be with a purpose. And see, that right there can cause people to feel some type of way. Do you understand that? Remember, people don't want to see you happy. The fact that you even caring for yourself can make people mad. I know it all sounds crazy, but that's just what it is. Also, let me add, I'm vaping, right? I'm working to stop smoking altogether. I want to stop smoking. It's not easy. I can admit that. To stop smoking is not easy. So I'm vaping. But I also notice what's happening as I'm vaping. A lot of mucus is coming out of my body while I'm drinking this tea, while I'm doing all that. I'm still vaping. Here's the thing about that. That's a good thing, because now I know what is causing, what did they say, inflammation in my body. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to learn about lung care, cleansing out my lungs properly, right? I'm going to teach myself what foods, fruits, limes, whatever. I'm a vegetable person. I'm a big vegetable person. I'm just, as I've gotten older, fruit, the only fruit I like is mango. Like, that's really my favorite fruit. Mango and strawberries are the two fruits that I like. And I mean, you have to go by what you can go by. And papaya, I love papaya. You know what I'm saying? So you have in honeydew melon. What's the other one? Honeydew melon. I like honeydew melon more than watermelon, actually. So all these different things to start somewhere with what you like and who you are, right? So all of this grows, it builds, it builds, it builds. Okay. Now, loving yourself and self-care activates people hating you because they don't. You get what I'm saying? You have to understand, there are people sitting with themselves and they don't like themselves. There are women out here sitting with themselves and they don't realize that all that self-hate that they're putting into themselves comes from who they're, doesn't notice that they come from who they're fucking and who they're around. They don't have that recognition, that level of spiritual intuition to even recognize it the way that you do.
No, everybody goes through different things. And I feel like the people who can't relate to this channel, well, you can't relate. You're just not the core audience of this channel. You don't have these experiences. You don't have the phenotype that I'm talking about, or, you just don't have anything in common with us. So it's just not the channel for you. But I've noticed that a lot of women, in order to survive, they have learned how to suppress their beauty. A lot of women are afraid of showing off their beauty because they don't want to be seen as being arrogant. They're just trying to be humble. They're trying to be down to earth and stuff. So a lot of women will actually suppress their beauty, or they will nitpick themselves. They will nitpick the tiniest flaws that like nobody else can even see. They'll nitpick those little things about themselves and make it into this huge deal. And that is their way of humbling themselves. It's because other people have gone out of their way to try to nitpick small things about you. Have you ever noticed that when you are considered the pretty one, they never notice when the ugly girl has acne. They never notice if the ugly girl gains 5 pounds. But if you are considered the pretty girl and you have one pimple, people will call it out. If you gain a little bit of weight, people will call it out. If your teeth are a little bit messed up, maybe you have some gaps in your teeth, maybe your teeth are overcrowded or they're kind of yellow or something, people will call that out because they put beauty on a pedestal. And so the fact that you're already on the pedestal and that you're not perfect, they want to call out the imperfection because they want you to have the same inferiority complex about your looks that they have about theirs. And I've noticed that this causes a lot of pretty women to not want to show themselves. They don't want to be in the limelight. They don't want to put on makeup. They don't want to lose all of that extra weight. They don't want to start taking care of their hair and leveling up their looks and stuff because they're tired of the drama that is associated with being perceived as beautiful. They're tired of the chaos that comes along with being perceived as the pretty girl. They're tired of all of their family members asking them, Who are you dating? Who are you sleeping with? Oh, you were sneaking out last night to try to see that man. Oh, you're a whore. Another thing that happens to pretty women is we get stereotyped as being whores. A lot of people, they automatically see you as being a hoe. They automatically see you as being promiscuous because they would be promiscuous if they looked like you. So I've noticed oftentimes that's just projection. So just because you would be promiscuous if you were attractive doesn't mean that every attractive woman is automatically promiscuous. Just because you would be cocky and arrogant and think you're better than everyone if you were pretty, it doesn't mean that every girl who is pretty currently thinks that way right now. But I've noticed that the people who are far removed from pretty privilege, they tend to project the most on those women because, you know, they don't know what it's like to be pretty. So all they have is their assumptions about what they think a pretty girl thinks of herself. But I've noticed that a part of the fear of being seen comes from the fear of being disliked. I have talked on this channel a lot about how when you are considered the pretty girl, a lot of people will automatically dislike you, especially if you're a woman of color and you come from communities of people of color. So you come from underprivileged communities or communities where people are struggling and stuff. People know that beauty can actually be your ticket out of poverty. It can be a ticket out of suffering because a lot of women, they might use their beauty to, you know, some women will do more noble things with their beauty, like get married or whatever. Other women will do things that are kind of looked down upon, like become sex workers or strippers or kind of selling their bodies. But a lot of people, regardless of what their views are, whether they're conservative or not, a lot of people view beauty as something that can open up doors for you. They view it as something that gives you access to opportunities. So if you are from an underprivileged background or you come from an underprivileged people group, such as African Americans or immigrants or something like that, then people really get triggered because they feel like we're already victims or, you know, we're already at the bottom of society. We already have all of these bad things happening to us, but you get to use your beauty as a ticket to kind of shield yourself from some of those bad things that may happen. So I've heard some people try to accuse pretty women of never experiencing racism, colorism, texturism, or featureism. I'm not saying that that's true, but I do think that pretty privilege is real, and I do think that pretty women get treated differently than women who are considered ugly or kind of like invisible. I think that there are advantages that come with being more noticeable. There are advantages that come with being seen because let's say you're pretty and you're also smart. People are more likely to recognize you being smart as long as they're not jealous of you. Then people are more likely to recognize your smarts and your talents just because your beauty causes you to be more noticeable in general. But for some women, they're so tired.
My name is Dylan Shaw, and I'm using Upwork to hire an LLM developer. Upwork provided a ton.
I got called stupid most of my childhood. I got called stupid. I even got called ugly. I was told I was a nice, all right looking girl. That's what I was told by my own mother. So you have to understand that there are those of us that have endured this level of hate for us. This is why I keep saying the fake friend has to stem from a mother womb or father womb, because the topic of stepfathers are very in competition when they have children and they're with a woman who has children by another man. Okay. Now, my sister is absolutely gorgeous. She's pretty. She's beautiful, like talented, everything. But I noticed that he always would big her up more, get upset if my mother mixed our names up. You know what I'm saying? I would notice that he would, and you know, he just always has to make it known that his daughter is the better daughter. You see what I'm saying? And that all can carry in your psyche as a young girl. You see what I'm saying? On my mom's side, everybody told me how beautiful I was, how gorgeous I was, how much I could be a model, how this and that. I even modeled, you know what I'm saying, at one point. So it's like that is effective to you. And I feel like that's why I have a thing with short, dark-skinned men. I don't fucking like them and especially them like stocky looking. It's a certain type of nigga man that I don't me and him just never get along. I just don't like that motherfucker. And even if I do get along with him, it's because I'm in a forced situation like work or something like that. But outside of that, I will never ever ever talk to him, right? Because that is what the stepfather looks like. Now, it's ironic because I am close to my bio father. See, but here's the thing about my bio father. My bio father is a Black and Caribbean man with, because, I told you my family line. And so he has a certain aesthetic and a certain look to himself and a certain aura about himself day and night to the stepfather. You see what I'm saying? If you stood my father and the stepfather together, my father is far more confident, far more fly, all of that. Not saying the stepfather can't dress up, whatever, but he's given up on something in his life, and I don't give a shit. But that all is a part of beauty. We get attacked very early in our lives. We get people that constantly always come for us. They can't help themselves, because you have to understand, we are the ones that can tell you very deeply people hate their motherfucking selves. You understand me? And to me, I can't forgive a mother who abuses her own daughter. I can't forgive that. There's no excuse for that. I don't give a damn. The SCW, I don't give a fuck. Like, there are women out here, we are obsessed with our daughters. I'm obsessed with my daughter. I think she's just so beautiful. She's so talented. I just love my daughter. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think she's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Like, I just want everything the best for her. Her father the same way. Her father is the same way. You don't understand what I'm saying? So it goes deep with us.
Of constantly being noticed. They're so tired of constantly being harassed. They're tired of being stalked, or,
when I started wearing my lashes and my eyeliner, there was a co-worker, was a manager that came up to me and was like, who you like? Who you like? And that shit is so annoying. Every time I wear lashes, it's one co-worker, I understand it, because she's coming to me and she wants to know, because she's the pretty girl. She likes to dress up. I don't have a problem with her. I don't care. She asked me about lashes. I'll pull the lashes out. I'll pull out the video. I'll pull out and I'll show her, this is what I got and this is how much it's cost. But if you want this, and that. Whole Spanish woman. You understand what I'm saying? I don't mind that. What I have a problem with the mammy is the mammy is so male identified. She got to think that you want dick. Like, she's annoying. And she could be a pretty woman herself. And let me tell you something. Just because you perceive someone to be beautiful or pretty doesn't mean that they perceive that for themselves. Because I can tell you, since I've been here in this motherfucking town, and I'm going to tell you something. If I look at a woman and I see that she is a very beautiful woman and she's very pretty, it don't matter to me. Okay. If she is, it doesn't matter, because I look at how she dresses and how she carries herself. So if she's pretty and she's dressed down, she don't, this is a woman who's been traumatized by her beauty, or she just don't think she's that beautiful. If I see her and she's dressed up, makeup, whatever, I'm like, oh, okay. She knows that she's beautiful. She knows that she's pretty. You see how that does work?
People pedestalizing them or just treating them weird. What I realized is that a lot of women who are pretty, they would have never known that they were pretty had other people not gone out of their way to treat them differently. So for the people who think that by calling us ugly or saying, well, nobody's jealous of you, you think you're better than others, oh my God, you're anti-Black, your color is textures, features. For the people who think that saying that is going to harm our self-esteem, no, all you're doing is revealing that you actually put us on a pedestal. Like, a lot of us would have never known that we were considered pretty if it weren't for the people who hated on us. A lot of us would have never known that we were considered pretty if it weren't for men trying to, go out of their way to nag us or bring us down because they felt intimidated by us. So what a lot of emotionally unintelligent people don't realize is that by automatically being mean to someone when you first meet them, they're going to realize that you have some sort of agenda against them. And oftentimes let's say you are a mixed race black woman and then unambiguous black women are mean to you, they're going to know, okay, she's probably not being racist against my blackness because she is also black as well. So what else is it? Is she jealous of something? That's why people do say it could be jealousy, because they feel like, okay, if you're not racist against her blackness, then what is it? It's either jealousy, or you are racist against her whiteness, or, her non-blackness. You're racist against the fact that she is a mixed race black person as opposed to a monoracial black person. But a lot of women fear their own beauty because they know that as soon as they dress up, all eyes will be on them again. They know that as soon as they lose the weight, all the eyes will be on them again. They know that people will begin to hyper focus on them the more that they kind of show off their beauty and stuff. And they also know that their beauty is a trigger to other people. They know that their own beauty will trigger another person's insecurities. So for example, let's say you are a pretty girl who's overweight and your whole family is obese. Everybody's overweight. Nobody takes care of themselves. But then you begin to lose a whole bunch of weight. Let's say you drop like 100 pounds or 150 pounds. That is going to trigger the insecurities in the people around you. So part of the reason why some women are afraid of their own beauty and they're afraid of their own potential is because they don't want to lose the ones that they love. They have people around them, maybe friends or family members, who have kind of had their back, or they feel like, you've been there for me since I was a kid, and they fear that if they level up too much, that those people will begin to disappear in their lives. So a lot of women, they have almost like this fear of abandonment because
did you know that the best way to make an extra income on Amazon is not by setting up an online store or selling physical products? So what's the best side hustle right now for professional women to make an extra income that you can do anywhere in the world at any time of your choosing? Well, thanks to Amazon, there's now a marketplace that allows almost anyone to potentially make additional income from anywhere in the world. And no, this doesn't involve you having to send products out to customers. There are no products that you need to store in your garage and ship. No complicated tech or experience needed. In fact, you can write at 4th grade level.
Pretty women often do get abandoned. They get abandoned by their friends. They get abandoned by women who are jealous of them and who secretly wanted to sabotage them. They get abandoned by like men. Let's say you're with a guy and then you try to set boundaries with him or something. Then he starts abusing you, or he abandons you because you are no longer meeting his needs. You're not fulfilling his fantasy. So a lot of people who are considered pretty have dealt with a lot of abandonment already. They've dealt with a lot of jealousy already. They've dealt with crazy behaviors from men, for example, married men hitting on them at work, or grown men hitting on them when they are children, when they're 11 years old, when they're 10 years old. They've dealt with like kind of the dark side of men. A lot of pretty women, they see the dark side of men. They see the dark side of men's sexuality. They see how driven a lot of men can be by lust. And so that is a part of why a lot of women who are very pretty, they don't end up getting married, or, maybe they do get married, but they get divorced, or they don't really like to stay in a lot of super long-term relationships because that woman knows in the back of her mind, wait a minute, when I lose my beauty, when he sees somebody else that has my same type of beauty or level of beauty, he may behave with them in the same way that he initially behaved with me. And so for a lot of women, their own beauty actually causes them to have trust issues because you don't know whether the people in your life are there because they actually like you as a human being, or if they're there because they want to kind of clout chase off of your pretty privilege. You know those girls who like to hang out with the pretty girls because they know that their pretty friend is going to get some free drinks or something, or, they know that she's going to get into a VIP section of a club or something, or she's always in the know with what's going on in the city. So a lot of people will try to clout chase off of that woman's beauty, whether they want to be seen with her, like maybe it's a guy who just wants to be seen with a beautiful woman. So it's not that he actually loves you as a human being and he's going to cherish you for the next 80 years. No, he just wants to increase his status in the eyes of other men. And then you also have the women who they're trying to be your friend, but they're not really your friend. They keep their friends close and their enemies closer. So they only want to get close to you so they can figure out what makes you special so that they
We done went down this road already. All right. We done went down this road already. Listen. When you have a beauty and you know that you're beautiful, you have an aura about yourself. So that means when you stand next to this person, you make them beautiful. Remember the story of Valerie and Christian. Remember what I told you? I said she was beautiful by being friends with her. You know, we just go back. I go into the whole shebang of that storyline because it is about your self-worth. Your self-worth is your standards. Your self-care is your standards. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I need you to understand. All you have is you. All you have is you, your self-worth, and your standards. I went outside to dump out my trash, and the same thing happens every time. Somebody across the street somehow miraculously always find themselves coming the fuck outside. I just be like, really? Like y'all just always coming outside when I come outside, or when when bays come over and I'm coming back home, when we coming in the house, somebody from that house is coming outside every time. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand one thing about beauty, right? Number one, people will be mad at you for having a look that is not the white supremacist beauty standard and still loving you for that. People will hate you more for that, okay? Because it's not always about so much of you have the standard beauty look, or you have you may have the aesthetic beauty look, yes, but you may not have the standard beauty look. Do you know what the standard beauty look is? That is the white supremacist beauty look. When you go look at a list anywhere where it says the top 100 beautiful people of the world, go look at that list. Go look at who's on the top 100 beautiful people of the world list. You see what I'm saying? You may not, or you may, you understand, not fall into the category or the facial features and stuff that falls into that look. Your nose might be a little too much bigger. You understand? Your lips might be a little bit too much bigger. Your skin may be a tone that might be perceived as a little darker. You see what I'm saying? But you're walking around here and you like, damn, I'm that bitch. I'm fine as fuck. I'm sexy. And you say, and it ain't even gotta be all that. You know what I'm saying? It could just be you just taking care of yourself. You just taking care of your health. You making sure that you eating medicine. Your food is medicine, so your medicine won't be your food. You know, one of my favorite quotes. You're making sure that life is peaceful. You're making sure that you just take care of yourself. You see what I'm saying? And manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest for yourself. You just living your best life. And they hate that. They hate that because the hate is there's a mirror. There's a reflection of the hate that they have inside themselves. They don't like themselves. And I know that sounds strange because you see people acting up. You see people carrying on. You see people with all kind of different bodies, probably bodies better than all of us. And you see them acting a certain way. But understand that them same people, they may not really like themselves. There is a woman who she tucked her stomach in her pants. I've never seen nobody do this. Like she literally tucks her stomach in her pants. And the way she tucks her stomach in her pants, I'm just like, girl, at this point, you need to hit a doctor and just get some lipo and just have them take all that out. You know what I'm saying? Or at this point, girl, you need to figure out something with your saggy skin and do something about it. Like, and maybe that's it. Maybe she did get lipo and maybe that's why she looks the way she do. I don't know her. You see what I'm saying? But it was just like, geez, but even though she looked like that, she looked decent. It actually wasn't a bad look on her. It was her look, but it was like, she looked the way she looked. And of course the uniforms came in and, you know, she still looks decent, but I can tell from her tone and the way she talks, you know, she keeps a professional face and stuff, but it's like, she doesn't like herself. You see what I'm saying? She's walking around here in this world and she doesn't like herself. Okay. Then you have to also, I need you to also know this for my spiritual bays out there, right? When you're lighting candles, incense, sage, Palo Santo, roses, you know, all of this kind of stuff, spiritual baths and stuff, that's all spiritually cleansing yourself. That's cleansing your aura. Okay. When you cleanse your aura to that capacity, you are going to open doors more and more and more in your life. And people can sense that too. And so if they can't have access to you, they get mad about that. So they got their attitudes, they got little slick comments and shit like that. Because that is what comes with the territory of beauty. Beauty, I hate to say it, beauty does hurt. It does hurt to be beautiful. Nobody wants to talk about this, but it does. Let's go.
They can try to usurp that quality for themselves. So they want to figure out, like, how does she do her hair? How does she do her makeup? How is she doing all of her beauty treatments? How can I take on those qualities for myself and then drop her so that I can become the new queen pretty girl? So a lot of times when a woman has beauty, it can bring out the worst in people. And so this is why some women choose to opt out. So even though they are pretty, maybe they choose to box themselves in and say, you know, I'm only going to be this level of pretty. I'm not going to try to maximize my beauty. I'm just going to keep it at whatever level it's at right now. And I'm not going to try to lift it up any higher because I don't want any drama. I don't want people to say that I'm acting different. Like, I know for me, anytime I used to wear a cute outfit when I was like a teenager or just in general, people had the tendency to say, oh, you're acting funny. You're acting funny now. You're acting different now. And that's because people socially scrutinize you more when they view you as having more social power than them. So the women who are considered ugly or invisible, they can have a day where they don't speak to anybody and no one cares. They can say hi to you today, not say anything tomorrow, and you don't care. But if the pretty girl said hi to you today and doesn't say hi tomorrow, suddenly you're offended. Why? Because you place more social power and value on that woman because of her beauty. You tie your self-esteem to how pretty girls react to you. You tie your self-esteem to whether the pretty girl wants to be friends with you, whether the pretty girl wants to talk to you or says hi to you, whether that pretty girl wants to date you. Like, a lot of men tie their self-esteem to whether they can date beautiful women. And when they can't date beautiful women, or if they are married to or with a woman who was beautiful but has lost her beauty, those men become resentful towards the women who are currently living in their beauty and enjoying their beauty. But one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that not every pretty girl wants to be famous. Not every pretty girl wants to be like a star or, you know, wants to be seen 24/7. And some women, as a coping mechanism,
it gets weird. You know, it's like, it's something about, okay, first of all, let me just make this very clear. Number one, just because the woman is beautiful doesn't mean she wants you to flatter her. That's what people fuck up at too. Nobody asked you to be in my face and compliment me and all this stuff. I don't need that. I didn't ask for that, right? Another thing is, it's strange because it's like every beautiful thing that I have on me, you can go do. If not better. Like, it's not that deep. That's what it is too. It's like, it's not that deep. If you want this beauty, whatever, then just go do it for yourself. It's like, why are you in my face bothering me about it? Also, when you're an intellectual woman, beauty is just a part of who we are. You know, we're just beauty. I'm beautiful. Okay. All right. But I have a mind. I have thoughts. I have intelligence. I have books that I read. I write. I do this. You see what I'm saying? There's more to it than that.
They will diminish their own beauty. So they will maybe not grow their hair out. Like, maybe if you were considered beautiful partially because of your hair, I've seen women cut their hair short, or they will shave their heads bald because they're trying to fit in. They don't want to come off like they're trying to show off. They don't want to come off like they're flexing on others. Some women will give up on their fitness goals or their weight loss goals because they want to fit in with the average girls. They want to fit in with the people who are leveled down, basically. They feel like it's easier to just fit in with everybody. It's easier to blend in. It's easier to not be as visible because then I can move in silence more easily, as opposed to being the pretty girl and all eyes are on you and everybody's watching what you do. It's very difficult to move in silence when everybody's putting on a pedestal and when everyone has a magnifying glass on you. And this is not just true for celebrities, but like, this could be true in the office, at your workplace. This can be true in family dynamics. Maybe you're the pretty sister. Maybe you're the pretty cousin. And so the cousins call auntie not to talk about themselves, but to ask what you're doing. Instead of them asking you personally what you're doing, they want to gossip about you behind the scenes, or they want to stalk your social media because they are putting you on a pedestal. And so one of the main coping mechanisms that pretty women have is not trying to maximize their beauty because they have that fear of being seen. They already are going to be seen either way, and they don't like the negative parts that are associated with it. And so as a coping mechanism, they almost begin to dim their light, and they don't wear their confidence on their sleeve. In fact, a lot of women will wear their insecurities on their sleeve, or they will not invest in themselves as much. Like they won't invest in their inner beauty, meaning like your talents, your skills, your gifts. Maybe you're good at singing or dancing or starting a business. You're good at finance. A lot of pretty women will not invest in their personal qualities because they have that fear of being seen. They have that fear of being disliked. They have that trauma from people trying to sabotage them all the time. Because that's another thing. When you are considered the pretty girl, people are actually gunning for you. They actually want to actively sabotage you. The positive thing about being considered average or ugly is that you're completely invisible. Nobody cares what you're wearing. Nobody cares what you're doing. Nobody notices you at work. Nobody is trying to find ways to write you up and find ways to like bash you and stuff. But when you are considered to be privileged in any way, people will try to go out of their way to make you feel like you are not privileged. People will go out of their way to try to make you feel insecure. They want to gossip about you at work. They want to make up stuff about you. They choose to believe the worst about you. So one of the main ways that women cope with this is they almost dim their light so that others are not as threatened. But this channel supports the concept of embracing every part of who you are. So I actually believe that maximizing your beauty to the fullest.
I always notice one thing about myself, right? And sometimes these things will make you fucking cry. I promise you, they really would. The thing is, excuse me, texting my child. Okay, so every time I was in the gym, I swear to you, every time I was in the gym, and when I go in the gym, I go hard. I go hard in that motherfucking gym. Okay, you can't listen. Always weightlifting on that treadmill, just doing all kind of body movement, stuff like that. And I always find myself, I never complete it, I never finish it, just end up don't coming back, all kind of shit. And I looked around me and I remember I was around that fake friend. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand the doors that they will close in your motherfucking life. I promise you. It sounds so strange sometimes, right? When we all tell this story, it begins to add up in your mind, right? Like, wait a minute, that happened to me. I remember this. I remember that. And it makes you want to cry. That's good. Cry about it because it's going to help you grow. You cannot, you hear me closely, you can't associate with those that are not at your level, but you have to know your level, okay? Whatever level you say that your level is, that is your level, okay? That is your level, that is your standard of the kind of people that you associate with, and you keep that standard.
Is one of the main ways that will actually get you out of these basic Betty situations, like these.
You know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Hey, we're How Ridiculous, 3 childhood.
Very horrible, low quality situations. So for example, let's say you are in the hood. Let's say you're currently living in the hood and you're very poor. Maximizing your beauty can help you to gain a stronger sense of self-esteem so that maybe you do begin to invest in your own business. Maybe you do have the confidence now to invest in your own fashion line or to utilize your creativity in other ways. So I actually support embracing your beauty and maximizing it as much as possible so that you can stay out of spaces where people are leveled down. And also another thing to realize is that no matter what level you're at in life, there will always be haters. There are always going to be people who are trying to sabotage you or they don't want you to succeed. Because have you ever noticed that people want you to succeed? They just don't want you to succeed more than them. So I've noticed that this is the case pretty much everywhere you go. So I would rather pick a struggle. And it's like, which struggle would I rather have? Would I rather have the struggle of being invisible? Or would I rather have the struggle of being hyper visible? Because the good thing about being hyper visible is that you have a platform. It's almost as if people are giving you a platform. This is why I say when it comes to Black women, when they talk
That look like my little cousin.
about colorism and this artist is mid and this, I had never even heard of Ice Spice, Mariah the Scientist. I had never even heard of some of these artists until Black women were actually posting all of these YouTube videos talking about how bad they were. So being hyper visible as the pretty girl, it actually can work in your favor because even the bad publicity can become good publicity, because you've already got people talking. So if you learn how to utilize that platform that you've been given, if you learn how to utilize that social power to your advantage, then it can help you to get out of these bad situations. But what do you ladies think? Do you have a fear of being seen? Have you ever felt the need to dumb down your personality or dumb down your talents because you felt like it would be too threatening to be both beautiful and talented, or to be beautiful and smart? What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.
You already called it.
Actors.
You already called it. Like, you know, I am here to tell you to embrace, lean into who you are, and keep who you are. If you start doing all this and you rise above that relationship that you are in, then that relationship is not for you, love. Okay? I mean, I'm gonna keep it above. I expressed to my partner, I said, look, I'm making changes. I'm focusing on myself. You know, I'm gonna make sure, you know, we're gonna still contact with each other, whatever. If you want to talk to me on the phone, we can do that. I need to focus on myself for a little bit. And she was like, you're breaking up with me. And I'm like, no, I'm not breaking up with you. I'm not breaking up with you. I need to focus on myself. I need to do my self-care. Okay. You want to talk to me? We will talk. You know, you know what I'm saying? Call me, whatever, we will. Let me just have this space to do what I need to do for myself. So you need somebody, you know, communicate, of course, but also let's let it be understood. You understand what I'm saying? What you are doing and what, okay, you know, you want this person to understand. So I'm gonna do the beauty is social power playlist for a second. So that's gonna play for a little bit, and I'll be back. Okay, just give me a minute, and I'll jump in with my commentary. So let's enjoy this. Shout out to Exoticals United, Fair Use 107.
Is called Beauty is Social Power Part 2. So if you guys saw my Beauty as a Form of Social Power YouTube video, this is kind of a spin-off to that video. I feel like not enough people talk about this. A lot of people say that things like pretty privilege can only be applicable if you are kind of centering the male gaze, and I disagree with that. I think that beauty can grant you certain advantages, not just in the dating field, but beauty puts you on a pedestal and it increases your visibility. So that is absolutely a privilege. And when I use the term social power, what I really mean is popularity. I mean almost like a small amount of fame. If you think of popularity, popularity is really just a very, very small, very tiny amount of fame. So maybe you have a few people at your high school who admire you because you're the head cheerleader, or maybe you are the star football player at college or something like that. That's almost like having a very tiny amount of fame, but within that high school or within that college. So when I use the term social power, what I'm really talking about is having an opportunity to be popular, having an opportunity to be seen, to be heard, and to have people listen to what you have to say. It's basically a form of clout. And this is why we see so many people hating on pretty women, because They don't want you to have that clout. This is why we hear people say things like, you're not that light skin. They're saying that because in their mind, light skin is associated with beauty and pedestalization. And so by telling you you're not that light skin, they want to hopefully stop you from getting clout because that person is associating a particular skin tone or a particular phenotype or a particular race. They're associating that with clout, and they don't want you to have that clout. Because clout and popularity and fame, even if it's a very small amount of fame, that can be pivotal when it comes to moving forward in your career or trying to make money. So today I was actually watching this Netflix documentary about this girl who, she was actually a criminal or whatever. For reference, the documentary is called Bad Vegan. And I looked up the girl, the blonde girl, who was literally a fugitive. And that woman, she used the clout from that vegan documentary to grow her Instagram. You know, she's got a whole Patreon now. She's got a whole merchandise store and people are buying her merch. So she has literally used the privilege of visibility to market herself in a way that can cause her to make money. And honestly, I think that when people get jealous of beauty, what they're really jealous of is the social power. They are jealous of the attention that you attract when you are beautiful, because a lot of people know that attention is a form of currency. And if you have enough people's attention, you can really do whatever you want and potentially make money off of it. This is why we see so many people get pissed and they say stuff like, oh, well, Ice Spice is mid, or, you know, all these other girls who are pretty and they're rappers and stuff, they're not even that talented. Okay, but because they have more attention, their beauty gains more attention than the talent of the other rappers or whatever.
I'm losing traffic to my competitors? Good thing I have SEMrush. Now I know who's outranking me, which content drives their traffic, and how to beat them in search. What a game changer. Try SEMrush competitor research for free.
Book of the month, September picks are finally here. Let's get into them. What happens when the perfect career girl can't keep the mask on anymore? For our main character, Marissa, her corporate success is built on stolen work and lies. For most students, Folklore 517 is just stories, but for Holland, it's a warning. When the Watchman predicts that Holland's death will be within 24 hours, her only hope is to find an ancient artifact called the alchemical heart. Cleo's mother always swore that their house was possessed. Now, after inheriting it, Cleo has come to find out that her mother may not have been as unhinged as she had previously thought. A bed and breakfast for the broken-hearted, a cheerful counselor with nowhere else to go, and a reclusive veterinarian that would rather keep his heart locked away. Gives us a achingly hopeful debut romance.
Those women knew how to use that attention and translate it into money. They're able to go on these tours. They're able to sell out their tours. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I feel like if you are a part of the Pretty Girl Club, it is very important for you to learn how to use your social power in a way that benefits you. So some women do this via dating. If you watch people like Shira7, she talks all the time about how, you know, pretty privilege can help you to potentially attract a guy with more money or whatever. Some people like to use that method, but on this channel, because I promote decentering men, I don't want women to be trapped where it's like a man has to pick them in order for them to have access to things like money. I believe that your beauty can potentially make money for you in multiple different ways. You can be a model, you can do Instagramming, you can become a makeup artist and work at, like, you know, do people's wedding makeup, you can do modeling of some sort. Even things like fashion design or real estate or working in sales, those are all areas where your beauty can cause you to have more visibility and more attention on you. Another way that you can use your attention as currency is if you've got a lot of people who kind of watch you and admire you, you can actually use that as a platform to talk about the things that are important to you. So for example, let's say you're passionate about mixed race issues, or you are passionate about being an MLS woman and you really want people to recognize your identity, or maybe you want to promote that identity. That's why I say that a lot of you guys on this channel, it's a really good idea for you guys to change your usernames or make new YouTube accounts where you put a pretty picture on there and then you name yourself whatever name you feel comfortable calling yourself, like Caramel Princess or Mixed Race Princess or Mixed Queen or whatever it is that you feel describes your beauty in an accurate way. That's another way of using social power, because your beauty on your profile pic it could attract people to kind of like click on your account or be like, oh, who is this? Oh, okay, she's Creole. Oh, wow, Creoles are like very pretty. Oh, wow, this girl is a Blasian mixture. She's Blasian and she's multi-generationally mixed. Wow, her picture is really pretty. Those are still examples of using your beauty as a form of social power because you essentially used that person's attention to draw attention to what you wanted them to pay attention to, which was your username. And some of you guys might be thinking, oh, getting attention is not a big deal, but it actually is because if someone gives you attention, what it really means is they're noticing you, they are more likely to listen to you, they're spending time with you. So actually having beauty, like having pretty privilege, that can actually help you to make friends. Like for me personally, I definitely like having friends that are also pretty because I love like makeup and hair stuff and, like going shopping and doing all of that stuff. So I can admit that I am a little bit biased when it comes to my friendships. Like if I see a new girl like in my friend circle or something, or she's kind of an acquaintance, and I notice that she has really good fashion sense and her hair looks really cute and her makeup is always done, I am more likely to hang out with her because she seems to represent kind of like the interests that I have. I am not as likely to want to make friends with a girl that I first meet and let's say she looks really bad, her hygiene is not really on point, like her breath is kind of like not on point, it kind of smells bad, or like, she just looks disheveled, she kind of looks like she doesn't want to be there, she doesn't really look the most confident, she's not really interested in talking to people or kind of socializing. That's not going to make me want to be friends with someone. So pretty privilege can actually help you when it comes to your friendships as well, provided the people are not jealous. Like I said in other videos, pretty privilege only works on men who are attracted to you or women who are not jealous of you. So if a man is like not attracted to your particular type of beauty, or if the women around you are jealous of you, then pretty privilege actually works the opposite way to where potentially someone could be hating on you. And by the way, men can definitely be jealous of women. This happens all the time. I've had this happen to me in the workplace. And also, your beauty as a woman can trigger another person's inferiority complex. So you can trigger an inferiority complex in a man, you can trigger an inferiority complex in a woman. So that's why
the reason it will trigger an inferiority complex in a man is because his mama's not beautiful. His mama is not a beautiful woman. When I look at my brother's wives, right? They're non-black, yes. They're mixed. One of them is a black father. The other brother, she's completely non-black, okay? Listen. They're both very feminine, very beautiful, very pretty women. Okay, very beautiful, very pretty women, keep themselves up. The one that has the two sons, she has it's really funny because her and my mother have the same similar style. It's a very simple jeans, shoes look, but hers is just a little bit more feminine than my mother's style, if you understand what I'm saying. Because my brothers grew up with a mother who dressed up, got beautiful. Only thing my mother didn't do with makeup. All that makeup stuff came to her later, in her older years. She wore makeup because I got in trouble if I ever thought about wearing makeup when I had wanted to wear it and stuff like that. But she did it older in her years. That plays a part too. My sons, I already know, like I can see from young age that they're attracted to girls that are very pretty, that know how to dress up, that know how to look good all day. They're around that beauty all the time. I mean, even with their grandmother and stuff, their grandmother and stuff dresses up.
I say that for me personally, I really do like having friends that are also pretty because number one, we can talk about girly stuff together. And I do feel like if a friend is jealous of me, that can actually be really dangerous. But what do you ladies think? Has beauty ever provided you with some form of social power? Have you ever received any free opportunities or extra attention or visibility for a business? Or have people kind of listened to you about the things that you cared about because they kind of admired your beauty and already put you on some sort of an invisible pedestal anyway? What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.
All right, let me also add, I want to show y'all something. I mean, I'll be acting like I don't got no more tabs, but I do. Some tabs I'm just trying to keep up. Okay, I can move this tab. Hold on. I can always cook. I wanted to show y'all this. Since I'm here, we're gonna go ahead and jump and do this tab right here. This is going into health, right? This is going into, and I'm not evangelizing health here. This is me just sharing with you guys, you know, the things that I'm sharing with you. Why do you do the things that you do? Right? That's the question. Okay. And when you know why you do the things that you do, you're going to find yourself being more grounded in what it is that you do. Okay. And I'm saying this to you because when you hold this standard for yourself, right, you're going to look at how other people and what kind of standards they hold for themselves. Somebody coming in the store, I know I keep dragging this, and I'm gonna keep on dragging this, with coming into the store in 12 p.m. in the afternoon with pajamas on in a group, is telling you their standards, right? Anybody who I think y'all get my point, right? All right, y'all get my point. All right, let's go. So, to me, this looks absolutely delicious. Okay, I see the chickpeas, I see the roasted carrots, mostly, and I see some potato going on in there. It look like yuca or something chopped up, right? Absolutely delicious. This is raw cooked meals, vegetarian meals. I have a vegetarian cookbook. All of this stuff. Vegan meals. Here's the thing. It's not about titling your lifestyle. Okay? It's not titling it. It's about living the lifestyle that you live. Now, if you sit here and you say, hey, I'm vegan, then you're vegan. Okay? Then that's fine. You're vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever. The main thing is you are living a lifestyle and you are holding a standard to the lifestyle that you are living. Okay? So you have to look at who is a part of the lifestyle that you are living. So if you decide this is the level of self-care that you want to do, you may go to a spa. Spas are not that expensive, y'all. If you work a 9-to-5 job, if you work a job that's paying enough that you can pay your rent and stuff, you can invest into a spa. Okay. There's things that you just need to be smart enough to know, unless you go in there for full consultation, then you're going to probably be paying a little bit over $100 or something. But if you know already that what you have, because you know, anytime you do customer service, you can sense who people are when they come through the door if you have good customer service skills. When you come through the door and you know, hey, I have dry skin, I have oily skin, right? So you look at the thing, you say, hey, I want to get this. I want to get this kind of treatment, detoxifying, whatever, full body treatment, right? And then they do have places where you can actually get consultation. So that's why you need to know where you're stepping into, who you're going into, because some of these people got, when you're an esthetician, you're a certified esthetician. Like You're not even supposed to touch anybody if you're not a certified esthetician. Honestly, in a lot of those Chinese shops where you're getting your eyebrows and facials and stuff like that, they're really supposed to be certified estheticians doing that. Okay, so you need to make sure you always check in with that. I think that's a standard for me. It's, you know, now since like learning from my mom and stuff, like I need to see some kind of certificate or something that you're certified to do this stuff, because if not, somebody can mess you up, mess up your skin. You don't want that, because estheticians also learn, I think they get a little bit of dermatology in their practice as well, because they do know how to deal with the skin, how not to irritate it. They do have some knowledge of these things. This is why they become certified, right? So I want you to understand what the spa is, okay? The spa is not a place where other people are cleaning you or bathing you. That is not it. The reason you want the spa experience, and I understand why somebody told me to go to the spa. You want the spa experience because the spa experience, when you feel how rejuvenated you are, you can do something as simple as this. Let me just get a deep ear cleaning, something like what she's doing right now. Well, she's doing a full body massage care thing. You feel so rejuvenated that it steps up how you care for yourself. Do you understand? You feel so rejuvenated that you begin to invest more into yourself. Your soaps become different. What's inside of your soaps become different. How you use your soap becomes different. How you lose your loafer brush becomes different. My loafer brushes are used for when I shave. Okay, I love it. I love my loafer brush. When I'm doing my Nair shaving, shower power from Nair or something like that, I get that loafer brush and I just go in. I put some product on it or whatever, and I just go in on that loafer brush and brush down and just kind of get everything down that I can and just clean up and fix up what's left, right? For those, you know, all of this stuff that I had learned, right? And then I started going to the wax museum. So then I learned about getting oils for ingrown hairs and stuff like that when I got there, and all these things. And I learned about different things of your body that can be waxed, the feeling it feels to be waxed, right? After learning all of these things in them, right, it made me step up my self-care as well as my children's self-care. See, I actually would have spa day with my children. Literally teach them, steam their face. I actually bought the little $5 thing so they could steam their face, clean them up, wash them down real good, do their toes, you know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff. That's what I started doing for my children. You see what I'm saying? So then what happens when you get out in this world and you step outside? When you live in a frequency, you can identify somebody else who has that frequency. When you live in a frequency. So what happened is you go outside, and going back to the fake friend thing, you'll be able to identify this person's standards. Okay. I know of somebody right now who is just, that's white people shit. That's white people shit. Okay. That annoys me. That something about that shit irritates the fuck out of me. Okay. Being clean is white people shit. Okay. Whatever. Actually, that's Asian shit, but neither here nor there. Actually, it is white people shit because the spa does come from the Romans. And I know the story about there were black Romans and stuff. I know, but the spa comes from the Romans. And some people are going to argue with me and say, well, the Moors taught them that. Okay. So somebody who expresses things like that will tell you about their lifestyle, will tell you about their self-care. Do you see what I'm saying? It'll tell you right then and there what their self-care. Doesn't mean that they don't keep themselves clean. Doesn't mean it. I'm not saying that. It tells you how much they put into themselves. So it's like little intricate little things like that become a part of your standard. You go to the gym and somebody trying to have a full conversation with you while you're at the gym, that shows you that this person, most more than likely, that person don't care about their health. You get what I'm saying? And if they're not at least doing some exercises or something, you shouldn't even. This is the thing too. I will admit this out loud, okay? Every time I talked about in the beginning when we first was together with my partner about going to the gym, going for a walk, something like that. And they would express that they're not going to no gym. And I'll be like, well, damn, okay, just drop me off and I'll come back late, but I just go and you just talk to you later, right? And so what happened is, I notice now, I was like, you know what, just want to go for some walks, this, that, and the third. And she'll be like, I'll come with you. You know what I'm saying? But why did that happen? Because of the changes that I'm making. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes the changes can just be felt off of you. You see what I'm saying? Like you're just doing and you're transforming and you're doing something and you're doing something and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're making all of these transformations in your life. And these transformations, we're at the top of the hour. These changes can be felt. So why does it come with so much trauma with beauty? Huh? Why does beauty come with trauma? Why can't we just be beautiful, live our life? Why does it have to be all of this? Because people don't like themselves. And what I need you to understand about beauty and having beauty, right? You need to understand that you have to believe in your standards. Okay? You have to believe in yourself. Even if you are that you want to. That's not the hiccups, y'all. Hold on. 1 second. That ain't help. Hold on, y'all. Let's go ahead and. Oh. 30 seconds. Okay. Excuse me. I don't even know where those come from. You have to believe in the standard of beauty that you set for yourself. Even if you are acting as the person that you want to be, that means that you have to still believe in the person that you are acting to become to be. You have to believe in that. Do you understand me? Because if you make an excuse, don't make excuses for, right? Okay, because I can understand the next question that's going to come about, right? And the next question is, what about if you have a beauty standard and the person is chubby but she takes care of herself and she looks good? There's a difference between being fat and thick. Okay, let's make that very clear, right? But also, you still should set a standard. What I have learned, this thick thing that I wanted, this thing I wanted to gain weight, this thing that I was holding on to from my 20s, a little bit into my 30s and all this shit that I have now let go of, that's not health. Okay, that's not health, and that's male-centeredness. Because I noticed something, because I stay away from anything that males have a standard for, because it's fucking convoluted, it's retarded, and you just be spinning around in circles. Okay, first of all, your body is what your body is. My body is what my body is. My body is not healthy with a lot of weight. My body does not look healthy with a lot of weight. Some people say, well, you look good with it. To me, I don't feel good with it. Weight, fatness around the stomach, and fatness and all that stuff, that is not healthy. That is not good. And it means that somewhere down the line, there has been health that has been neglected. And that's what I am starting to realize and come to. So being thick, big booty, and all that stuff ain't important to me. Okay. And I have come to that realization. Like, I was in the kitchen today while I was drinking my teas and stuff, like I'm doing now. And I was like, man, I started thinking just about things that's healthy and stuff. And I'm like, yo, that shit not healthy. So you see what I just said there, right? That builds a standard for me. See, that builds a standard of what you have to look like, okay, to be close to me, to that capacity to be my friend. It doesn't mean if you look like that, I won't do business with you. That's a different ball game. But to be close to me, to be a friend, or even to be in a relationship, that's not going to happen. You see, you keep these little intricate things, intricate little details of life that you follow, because then it weans away people. It's not so much of being judgmental. I know people have a time with that word. Some people don't care for that word, or some people don't care to be judgmental. I think that the term judgmental has been kind of twisted around, because, you know, you have to, there's a lens that you come from when you are observing things, and when you're building perspective in this world about things in life, and you're building perspective from experience and stuff about life, right? So when you're doing these different type of things, it's all about you. You get what I'm saying? You know, it's equivalent to the thing of, you know, the person, because it's not just a gender thing, that's like, they just don't like weaves, right? They just don't like people wearing weaves. And I'm always the person with somebody, they never like people, they always like my natural hair. They never like weaves and wigs and stuff like that. I tend to go through that a lot. I can't escape from that. And people like that, they have their reason and their perception of that. And what my partner said to me is, I don't know who you are. That's what she said. She was like, I don't know who you are. She showed me the site with this girl, and she had on just a million different wigs. She was like, this girl can kill me. She can do something to me and go away and put on another wig. And while we were talking about this, I was really listening to understand her perception of women who wear weaves. Now, there are people who they associate weaves and certain looks with a personality, a certain lifestyle, and things like that. And I get it. You understand? That is their perception. I get it. All right, I'm about to jump into something else real quick. I just want to really jump into this Asian woman. Megan the Bleacher. Between homes with love and Nick was between homes. I'm done. I'm not even going to get into that. Okay. Let me go ahead. Okay, so we're going to go into looking at older women. This is my favorite one. Let me just tell y'all this. Who have a skincare routine. I learned something from her. This lady done made me do something in my house, and just I learned something from her. So here we go.
This is my mom's skincare routine. She is 66 years old. She's never had any fancy facial procedure, no facial treatments, just consistency and creating a strong foundation so that the products work. So first, she doesn't even wash her face at the sink. She washes her face in the bathtub so that the water drips down. I've literally never seen her wash her face at the sink. It makes for a cleaner bathroom. Pat dry, never swipe. Then she does a warm towel compress. Dip a towel, lightly squeeze it out, and then microwave it for 2 minutes. But her advice,
that's another thing about going to the spa, right? You'll learn these little tips. You know, again, I have mother as an esthetician, so I learned stuff from her and stuff. But you know, you learn these tips of patting the face dry, or you know, I had a whole at-home spa book. I hate that I did not. I can't even tell you the lady. I don't even know if I could find that book. That was like one of them random finds. I should have held on to that book. But it don't matter. There's plenty of books out there. So you learn little intricate things about yourself that you incorporate in the house.
손님이 싸는 게 엄마한테는 그게 좋아서 하는데 처음 하는 사람은 너무 뜨겁지 않게 조심해야 돼. 너 자기 그거는 자기 초이스지 뭐.
So adjust to what you can tolerate, just be careful. Then shake it out.
이제 뜨거운 거 조심해서 얼굴에
and pat the heat onto your face. This not only opens the pore for your next skincare steps, but it relaxes facial tension and increases blood circulation. Then she applies her homemade mask, and as you guys can see, there's no mention of products yet because my mom's philosophy on good skincare
세 가지
is
정도가 중요한 게 있는데 퍼스트로 중요한 게 다이어트라고 생각해. 레몬 주스에다가 엄마는 올리브 오일을 섞어서 everyday 아침 few years 먹었어.
This woman drinks lemon with olive oil. And there's another video where she actually talks about the different type of olive oil and what signature part of the olive oil is very important for you to drink. Who knew that you can drink olive oil? Like, can put it in lemon and drink olive oil.
그다음에 자는 거를 잘 자야 돼. 잘 못 자고 나서 마스크팩 해도 별로더라고. 잘 자야 되더라고. 세 번째는 엄마 생각에는
Say good sleep. You heard that? That's something I need to learn.
나한테는 스팀 타월 or 콜드 타월이라고.
the cold towel is something she does every day. She dampens the same towel that she used for the warm compress and freezes it until it's very cold but not frozen. About 10 to 15 minutes. It should feel very good.
이거 시원해.
And now
My mother was trying to sell me her towel warmer, and at the time I couldn't get it, but I might ask her for it. I might still ask her for that shit.
Now it's time for the products now that the foundation has been set. She does refrigerate most of her products for the cooling effect, and then she applies toner, vitamin C, along with some serum. She has very dry skin, by the way, so this is why there's a lot of moisture going in. Then she applies lotion that she mixes with hemp seed oil. And notice how she's always swiping up or patting in. She never drags around her skin because that creates a faster formation of wrinkles. Then she finishes with sunscreen, and that is her morning routine. Stay tuned for her night routine. I'm so sorry I couldn't fit it in one video. It's a bit different, and we hope you love that one just as much. This is my mom's skincare routine. She is 66 years old. She's never had any fancy facial procedure, no facial treatments, just consistency and creating a strong foundation so that the products work. So first, she doesn't even wash her face at the sink. She washes her face in the bathtub so that the water drips down. I've literally never seen her wash her face at the sink. It makes for a cleaner bathroom. Pat dry, never swipe. Then she does a warm towel.
All right. Y'all get the point. This is an older woman doing this. This is an older woman. Okay, here we go. Another one. Is this the same person?
모든 시선들은 날 따라와, but we ain't even famous. Don't you try me, I want some more. Don't you claim that we on the floor. Don't you try me, I want some more. We ain't even famous. Don't you try me, I want some more. Don't you claim that we on the floor. Don't you try me, I want some more. We ain't even famous. 모든 시선들은 날. Damn, I wish I had that shit. That UV mask.
using my damn umbrella. You also learn about the UV rays of the sun. But pretty much you get everything about skincare. Why do I stress skincare? I need you to hear me very closely. That fake friend, and I know I said it before, I need you to understand it's going to sound strange, because this is little things that I noticed about people that make me cock my eye to the side at them, and they don't meet the standard of me. Number one, skincare. Skincare is everything. And somebody who knows how to take care of their skin. Okay. Another one that stands out to me is how you dress. Fuck is this? How you dress. Let's sneak ahead. Okay. Another thing is how you dress is about style to me. Do you have a sense of style when you get dressed? Do you have a signature look about yourself? Do you keep your hair the same type of style? Do you switch it up? That stuff, I look for stuff like that, right? It's other little things, but you have to be careful with that because people can be posers. So there's things you have to be mindful of. People are not being posers, like books and stuff like that, because sometimes people are holding books so somebody can want to date them. You know, it's people are crazy like that. The music you listen to, your music style. Are you somebody who has one significant music style, or do you actually do you have that hip hop R&B music style that you only listen to, but are you straight emo, straight rock, straight something, or do you listen to everything? You know, I get leery of the I listen to everything people. I'm not gonna hold you. Some I listen to everything people just kind of got to get into them as well, because that's kind of where posers be at too. What is your relationships with people throughout your life? You know, what I look at that. Who is your associations? Who's your constant association? Who do you know, who is who is your, how do you talk about people that you are with? See what I'm saying? So if I see that you hang with a certain group of people, but then you turn around and tell me, well, I told this person to not deal with them because they two-faced it and this, that, and the third, then that means you're gossiping and you're talking to me about that person these people that you be around, but then that means you do the same to me. You see? So I do pay attention to how do you talk about people. And again, these things seem very simple, but they are meaningful. I have something I'm going to say, like unpopular opinion. No woman whose body doesn't look good feels good about herself. I have really come to that in my age. And any woman whose body does not look good to her, she don't feel good about herself. I don't care how pretty her face is. If her body does not match the beauty of her face, then she doesn't feel good about herself. Because I do look at that, you know, does this, how? Because see, there's that body where she's under a goddamn girdle, or the body where she's under something like holding her stomach in. Then there's that body that you can tell that she actually works her body out, that she actually puts time into her body. Then there's that body where you can just see that they dress the way they do, but they probably got a big old booty, big titties, and so they insinuate that more over what else is on their body. I pay attention to that. You don't like your body. You don't like yourself. I don't care how many big booty, big breast women I've seen that don't have good bodies. They always complain about their body. There's no way around it, right? Only a woman who looks good and feel good in her body likes her body. I can't feel good about my body until I like my body. You get what I'm saying? And when I say like my body, meaning I actually shape it out. I actually lose that gut. I actually tighten up my legs. You see what I'm saying? I actually get some strength in my arms. Until I really like my body, then I can say I like my body. Do you get what I'm saying? So these things are ultimate keys, like little teeny tiny things about me that I pick up about people. I see how you carry yourself in relationships as well, in relationships to people. Do you allow yourself to be walked all over and you cry about it and fuss about it later? Do you are you a person that can say no? You see what I'm saying? I look at what kind of associations do you have that, you know, that I look at these things. Even with my own partner, I look at these things. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like her association with that friend, it's like I don't let that leave me. That's your association. And you want to know something really deep, y'all? I just noticed this now while I'm talking to you. Like, you see how I'm distancing myself from her? Like, just not distancing, but I'm kind of giving myself my space and focus on myself a little bit more. It's because she's been associating with her friend more. You see? It's like you got to pay attention to these little teeny tiny things to tell you what's going on in your life. Because I just realized, like, we were together heavy for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just like, okay, I need, I got sick stuff. And I was just like, okay, let me just have some time to myself just for a little bit. I just need this time for myself. Well, when that happened, the next thing I know, she has been going to see her friend who's in this situation and stuff, and who's not even staying far from me. But at the same time, it's just hit me like something in my spirit was just distancing myself. So you see, these things will happen. These type of things will happen because the energy is not matching. Do you see what I'm saying? And so this is why I say to y'all, sometimes these changes and transformations may call for you to walk away, or something may have to go away in your life that you may not want to. You know what I mean? Because it's for the better of you. You have to just accept it. You know, if you want the changes and you're asking for the changes are going to have to happen. Because see, you can't have yourself transforming and changing, and then the person next to you is not making effort for anything. It's not okay. It's not that you're looking for them to do anything. You're focused on yourself because it's all about you. So as you focus on yourself and build yourself the way that you need to build yourself, people will naturally start they'll start to wean away. Some of them will feel like you already gone away. Just like the situation with me and my partner. Like, are you breaking up with me? No, I'm not breaking up with you. You know, not to be personal here, but just to hear you like, no, I'm not. But this is just an example of what I'm talking about. Like, I had to make that clear. Like, look, and I had to just talk, like, just like a little bit. Like, I don't like being sick. I got sick. I know there's things that I have to do, and I'm older than her too. So I'm like, I know there's things that I have to do with my body. There has to be changes. I have to make these changes. I just know I have to make these changes. And I began to express other things with her about the call for this transformation and change. And she understood wholeheartedly. You see what I'm saying? But I also, because this is my partner, let her know, like, I'm not abandoning you. I'm still here. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to text you. You're going to still get me. I'm not going anywhere. We ain't even far away from each other. You can come see me anytime. You know what I'm saying? So these little intricate things are all a part of the frequency and vibrations of how you live your life. These little things, you're going to start, I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing people kind of just, you're going to naturally get away from them. You're going to naturally not even attract being around them. You're going to naturally be, they're going to be coming one way, you're going to be coming the opposite way, maybe saying hi, hello, and keep it going. And you ain't do that shit on purpose. It's just frequency. That's how it works. You're going to work in that department that you once was in with those people that you once was working by. Next thing you know, the manager is telling you, hey, we need you over here. We need you over here. And so you're working closer to the people who dress up, wear their nails, get their hair done. Like now you're matching what they look like. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the frequency that you pulled yourself in. Or now you're in a space where, you know, it's not as much strenuous work and stuff like that as it was before, because now you pulled yourself away from these certain people who you were working around. That's what you got to understand about standards. That's what you got to understand about along came a spider, snakes. They're going to come around you. They can't help it. They can't help themselves but to want to be in your energetic space. You have to let go of your trauma of being beautiful. You have to embrace beauty. You have to be okay with being beautiful, especially if you know you're much more than your beauty. You know your beauty extends further than just the fact that you are beautiful. You need to take your life and push it, pull it to the direction it needs to be. You need to, not you. It's best that you keep the mind focused on what it has to stay focused on for yourself. And you know what's going to happen too, just like I'm showing you right now, you're going to find videos of people drinking lemon with olive oil. Then you're going to, like me, I'm going to look that up. Well, what's the benefits of drinking lemon with olive oil? You're going to find yourself in certain spaces and watching certain things and listening to certain things and stuff like that, because it's going to keep flowing. It's just going to keep going. You understand? So love on yourself, people. We at 45 minutes after the hour. Love on yourself. I want to show some more. Here is, okay, so this is another one that I like. I think this brother was like, this one right here. Let's go.
In my last video, I received a ton of requests for my mom to drop her skincare routine. So today, the Real Slim Mama Doobie is unveiling the best kept secret from the Far East, how Asians don't raisin. The key to her anti-aging secret is her everyday 10-step nighttime Korean skincare routine with an important tip at the very end. Starting with an oil-based makeup cleanser, she dissolves makeup and sunscreen, opting out of harsh micellar water. She follows up with an alkaline-based cleanser.
Wait a minute. Before we get there, let me say something. Look at how she invests into her stuff. Look how she got it. Look what she got it inside. The way you store the things that you care about, you invest into it. You're going to get a good bag for it. You're going to get something like that for it. Okay. Okay. Why did I pause this? When it comes to certain things that you know about, right? That's another thing. The knowledge that people have knowledge about stuff like that. Okay. Thing is, when you have knowledge of things, right? She said she cleans her makeup off with an oil-based cleanser. If you come across somebody that complains about makeup and what makeup do to their skin, and you have to tell them you can just clean your skin, there's significant makeup skin cleaning products, and you need to know your SPF and da 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 da. If you have to explain that to somebody, right? Then that's telling you right there that they ain't on your level. Okay? Like, I'm being for real. Like, it be little stuff like that. it was the person I told you that was like, well, you better be careful with those skincare products because white people shit that mess your skin up. I said, my mother's an esthetician and I've been going to the spa since my 20s. So I know my skin and this is fine. I shouldn't even have to say all that. What because there's some things that I'm going to tell you when you live your life to a standard. You're going to be like, damn, I thought grown women, I thought we just did this when we were grown. But you're going to find out there's people that don't. There's people that like, they're even against it. Like, you just be looking at the weird. Like, that's why you have to have a fucking standard. A bitch that don't get her nails done and it feels some way about getting her nails done, you should not be friends with a bitch if you get your nails done, because next thing you know, you're going to not be getting your nails done. And even if you help this bitch get her stupid ass nails done, this bitch is going to resent you for it. You should not have to be in that space. Now, if someone is coming to you, depending, like, hey, and ask you a question about your skincare and what products you use, and they go and they actually purchase what you tell them, because I'm one of them, be like, oh, I'm going right now. You mean you weren't here? Oh, I'm going right now. I just bought it. That person will run to me again. I'll be like, yeah, I bought it. Thank you for helping me. Bye, boom. That's a different type of vibe. But sometimes you got people asking stuff and they be like, well, what skincare product do you use already? That's the first, you have to bring it. Sometimes the question they ask you got to bring it back to them. Well, what skincare products do you already use? What's your routine already? Before you even like, what's the reason of you talking when you may have, when they probably just use soap to clean their face. You see what I'm saying? You have to dig into people first. Like, well, what about you? It ain't about me. I'm already being me. I'm doing me. What about you?
Aging Secret is her everyday 10-step nighttime Korean skincare routine with an important tip at the very end. Starting with an oil-based makeup cleanser, she dissolves makeup and sunscreen, opting out of harsh micellar water. She follows up with an alkaline-based cleanser for a double cleanse, ensuring all the residual gunk is washed away. Next, niacinamide to prevent discoloration and for its anti-inflammatory purposes. Then it's retinol for that anti-aging boost. A moisturizing mask comes in accompanied by a microcurrent facial toning device to enhance absorption. She rinses it off and applies hyaluronic acid serum for that baby butt skin feel. Then she finishes off with a lotion and 2 hydrating.
If you associate skincare and being clean with another race, you ignorant as fuck. And you dirty. Okay? If you associate the spa and skincare routine with another race, and then you say that somebody shouldn't be looking at something because there is another race here, you ignorant and you motherfucking dirty. I need you to know that right now.
Creams to form a protective barrier for overnight skin hydration. But the most important tip, sleep. Get at least 8 hours of sleep every night, and there you have it, the secrets behind my mom's youthful skin. Can you believe that my mom's hitting 52 soon? Maybe that explains why in my last video I received a ton of requests.
That's nice. Her mom's turning 52. Your mom's still young, honey bun. She's there like, you believe my mom is 52? Girl, your mom is still young. Who is this little girl? Okay, so I saw there is an ice that you can. Okay, now here's another one. Nighttime. This is the one I really have to go back to doing. The nighttime skincare routine.
Placing your first options.
Hi everyone, this is Ava here from Glow with Ava, and today is a sequel to our last video where I'm going to follow my mom's nighttime skincare routine. So today I actually had a big brand photo shoot, so I have some makeup on, so I want to do a proper nighttime routine only using products that my mom currently uses and absolutely loves. 엄마, 시작을 해볼까요? 어떻게 시작을 할까요? 시작은 미스트부터. Okay, so this is something that my mom does a lot, where before she even cleanses, she just like mists her face so that.
Now, I would do this and I did not know why I was doing it. I did it for moisture. It was like I would just mist my face and to add some kind of moisture before I cleaned my face. And I just did it that way. And that's another thing too. As you build routines, you'll have your own little tips and stuff.
It kind of like softens your.
And here is where the trauma of beauty kicks in. Okay, hear me out. The trauma of beauty kicks in with this because what is going on is you are taking the time into yourself. You have a lot of people that don't have time for themselves, okay? Or they don't know how to make time for themselves. Everybody has time. You have to make time for what you want to make time for, right? So there's things that have to be negated in order to have that time, right? And then it depends on your life choices, but even still, you make the time that you can make time for yourself, okay? Then you have this. It bothers somebody to see somebody look in the mirror, because there's a lot of people who do not look in the mirror. Believe it or not, they do not look in the mirror. It bothers them to see you invest and take the time in that mirror to beautify yourself. My job has a big ass mirror that you can look in before you go into the job. Rarely do I look in this mirror. And I did not realize that. And I started realizing that, hey, I don't have a full body mirror in my house, right? I keep forgetting to get it every time I go out. I keep forgetting, but I do have a mirror here that I do use. The mirror is your friend, baby. You hear me? And that is where the trauma has started in your beauty. You looked in the mirror and somebody told you to what was it my grandfather said? Get out your imagination, or some stupid shit that he would say to me as a child when I looked in the mirror. And it was this thing with the family that even the little children shouldn't look in the mirror because their teeth won't grow or some stupid shit or whatever. So there was this thing about looking in the mirror that was not okay. And so you have to understand that there's a lot of, I'm sure I'm not alone in this. I'm sure there's people who got a lot worse than that. The mirror is your friend. I have encouraged all my children to look in the damn mirror. Are you kidding me? Look in the mirror, look at yourself, check your clothes, look in the mirror, look in the mirror, look in the mirror. Because in life, you're supposed to look in the mirror. Life is a mirror because life is the inside out. Do you see how deep that is? They don't have a mirror. They don't know how to self-reflect. And you're the mirror that they're looking at, and they hate what they see in the mirror, which is you, who's looking in the mirror. You got to understand how deep rooted this hate, this anger, this self-hate that people have within themselves. Okay. Also, take note that you are prepping yourself in the mirror. We're going to use my job as an example. Looking in a full body mirror. That means you're correcting yourself. That means that before you get on that floor, you are adjusting your clothes. You're making sure your face look good. I always make sure I always look at my nose. I'm always about a clean nose. Making sure the nose look good. Making sure your hair looks good and everything. Making sure that everything is intact as it should be, right? Before you get on that floor. And I only see, do you know I'm the only Black woman that look in that mirror? Do you know I'm the only Black woman that looks in that mirror? I have not seen another Black woman look in that mirror and fix themselves before they came to work, before they walked on that floor. I'm the only one. And I'm on another shift, I know, but even after this, I don't see no Black woman or Black man for that matter look in that fucking mirror. That is very telling. Okay, that is very telling. And it's these little intricate things in life that you just, if you just one day, look around you. Don't judge. You know, don't judge that outfit that person got on. Don't judge the way that person walking. Don't judge the person. Just don't even look at all that. Just observe what you see, and then just observe it from your like. What that person walks like this. That person looks like they're up to no good. Okay, this person looks mad today. This person looks sad. You know, this person is okay, this person's really pretty. Okay, she's pretty. Okay, I like the way she walks, right? You look around at these little things and you just watch it. Because the reason is you can see people who wear their insecurities on them. Okay? You're not want, you know, this is why you raise your frequency at a certain level. You can see people's insecurities, people's doubts, people always say. There's a video out I saw where it was like 5 things men recognize about a woman, and I'm just like, I'm sure there's things, you know, anybody who pays attention to people, you can recognize what you can recognize from the door, right? Or you can teach yourself how to analyze and recognize things from the door. All right, let's keep going.
Your makeup in a way before cleansing. I don't know if it works, but she loves doing that. And then always she goes in with eye makeup remover for days that you are wearing makeup. So I'm actually not wearing eye makeup today. I'll just place it on top of my eyelid because if you rub your eye like this, that actually creates more wrinkles. So I think it's really important to just like place this on areas that you have your eye makeup on gently until everything just kind of melts off. For photo shoot today was
why do I tell y'all that skincare is everything when I meet somebody or get to know somebody? Because you're looking in the mirror at yourself. You're taking time to yourself. You're investing into yourself. You're actually looking at yourself. You know how many women I see with fucking waist trainers and bitches that put on yoga pants real super tight? You know how it goes out here. And you know, I don't know. And then just whatever top they put on, whatever the side. I could tell that woman is doing that for attention. I could tell a woman who's actually doing that shit so someone can look at her ass, or some man can come approach her, or whoever can come approach her. Most of the time a dude, of course, and give her some attention. And I could tell the difference between a woman who's actually working the fuck out, and she getting her body right, and she getting her body right the way she wanted, in the shape that she wanted to, and she's putting that work in. I can tell the difference. But the way that we at top of the second hour, the way I can tell the difference is because of the lifestyle that I live and the places I have taken myself. And because of that, I'm able to identify, oh, okay, that's what this is. That's what this is. So your beauty trauma comes from that bitch that's always staring, that's always watching, and then she come and question some shit. Because you always see her. It's not that you don't. You see her coming. And you know, once you get to a certain time in your life, you see her coming because it starts with her staring before she says anything. That's a very jealous thing. Do you know there's a demon of jealousy, and he has like a bunch of eyes all over him? Like he literally has, I can't even find that picture no more. There's a demon of jealousy, and that motherfucker got a bunch of eyes all over his body, like all over his face, all on his head, inside. He got dreads too. He got eyes all in his hair and shit. That's the demon of jealousy, y'all. And I think it's interesting because in Demon Slayer, that one woman who was like one of the most powerful demons, older demon, she worked in a hostel, and you know, and she ran those girls while they ran in this brothel, basically, the brothel, and she ran these girls, and she was fucking horrible to them. And you know, you can look at her and tell she was a beautiful woman. She was just a demon. You know what I'm saying? So this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about with all of you. People are a waste of time. I mean, you may find family members in your life who are a waste of your time. You don't have no excuses for them. There's no helping them. You have to move on because they're not going to be anything that's worthy of your self-esteem. Nobody's worthy of your self-esteem. Do you understand that your self-worth and self-esteem is your frequency and vibration to your manifestations, your quantum leaping, and what you're moving into in your life? Your self-esteem and your self-worth is the doors that open in your life. So you have to pay attention to that. You have to like build your mind into building that way. My self-esteem and my self-worth is opening doors. My investment into myself, my love for myself is opening more doors for myself. You got to think about it. And if I choose to let myself be traumatized for my beauty, and I choose to put myself down to associate with people who are not of myself, again, co-worker situation, but you can still have some control there. You can. Around people closely associated with me that's not like myself, then that means I'm closing 10 doors. I say 10 doors. It's not one. You're closing 10 fucking doors. If I let this person get too close to me and she ain't at the level of me, I got 10 doors closing in my life. You have to look at it. You have to build a mindset like that, because that is the freak. You have to, like, if you go into, I've been traumatized in my beauty and this and that, you're just pulling yourself down. That's not the space you want to go into. Go into a space of saying, go into a spiritual space and realize my love and my self-investment and my self-unfoldment and all these things and all I'm doing for myself and everything I'm building for myself, what they call the glow up, is to open 10 doors in my life, to be the road opener of my life. These people are door closers. See the difference of the energy when you bring it in your mind that way. So when you bring it in your mind that way, that in itself is going to vibrationally move your life forward in a way that it needs to go. But you have to believe and have to know who and what you are to keep these standards. I want to keep watching this.
Very natural makeup, so I don't have much eye makeup on, but I do have a lot of coverage on. So now we're gonna go to our cleansing phase. The biggest irony about my mom is that she actually doesn't really use oil cleansing as much. 왜 오일 클렌저를 많이 안 써, 엄마는?
옛날 사람이라서 오일을 하면은 한 번 더 세수를 또 해야 될 것 같아.
I think that's the thing. I think like 20, 30 years ago, oil cleansers weren't really a big thing in Korea maybe, so she doesn't really use that many oil cleansers, so but I'm going to use it because I have a lot of makeup on. She does like this one though, because we got this at Olive Young, so she's been recently using this one from Manyo, where I basically just like melt my makeup off gently with this. And this one is especially great because it helps with like the fine dust misemanji in Korea. It helps to break all of that down. But yeah, the irony is that she has not been using oil cleansers forever. However, the one that she does like is foam cleanser. She loves her 거품 클렌저를 너무 좋아하잖아, 엄마가.
나 항상 거품.
Yeah, so she loves all kinds of bubble cleansers. She's recently been loving this one. 엄마 요즘에 쓰고 있는 거.
너가 맨날 혼내잖아. 엄마 그것만 쓰지 말고 오일도 꼭 써야 된다.
그러니까.
근데 어쩌겠니? 습관이 안 돼 있는데.
근데 화장 많이.
I have the Kylie Jenner skincare product, and it's really good. Her mask is gel as well. So the foam cleanser is awesome. Okay, the foam cleanser is fucking awesome. I actually like foam cleansers. I've been watching people do foam cleansers, but when I actually got my experience with my own foam cleanser, it felt just awesome on the skin, and I can feel that it's cleaning. What I need to do now is I need to get a good facial mask. I got to get a good. My favorite is the charcoal. The charcoal detoxing mask is really good as well. Also, learn your skincare product. Learn how to take care of your skin. After we watch this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play a video. I think it's Azadaku's United. She's talking about her skincare product, her skincare routine. Somebody else is live, but I don't know who this girl is. Everybody is like talking about, but who is this girl?
What we feel is that comfort zone of being, because it's not comfortable. You're going to find that out, especially as you get older. It is not, if you get older, it's not comfortable being obese and out of shape, you know. So let me just say that right now. I'm just saying. Look, don't come in here trolling now. Don't come in here just disagreeing with me for the sake of disagreeing. Just so you could be the counter to what I'm talking about. Look, I'm finna block you from this stream because I see that I know what I was already expecting it. So I'm finna block you from this stream. Or at least put you in a timeout. Yeah, because I know that you're just up in here to be counter to what I'm talking. I'm okay with people disagreeing with me, but being that I'm familiar with you only for trolling and all this mockery of how black folks talk. Ain't be got no weapon posting. No, I'm not with that. As well as spamming.
Yeah, I had to make that comment because most Dominicans is nothing but
everybody. First of all, is spending money.
Dominicans is nothing but light
on hair weaves and all that stuff and makeup. Okay, everybody's doing that now. And yes, as black women are more likely
spend money on whatever you want to spend money on.
Maybe not by number, but by percent to spend money on hair. And at least it is understood what that's about and what that stemmed from. However, what is Becky and all these other women's excuse? They are still way more likely. Like I said, hair is nothing when you compare it to, you know, the fillers, the Botox, this, that. I don't know about the Dominicans. I'm not, you know, saying I don't know what you saying. Most Dominicans are light skinned Haitians. I don't know about that.
Most people don't know that they are light skinned
neighbors, but yeah. But anyways, like I was saying, how you doing, by the way? V314 EB Radio. But yeah, like I said, the woman who is supposedly on top, you know, I don't see that as being that comfortable of a position. There's always going to be that pressure. There's always going to be, she's always, like I said, this movie that I watched in the 80s, it was like a horror movie, one of those 80s cheesy kind of horror movies of the 80s. And
I'm not here to, so if anybody come across this video, I just stumbled across this video and I see the topic that she has going on. It looks like I follow her. Oh, okay. I guess I follow this lady. Okay, I'm not going to go on her channel while I'm live, but I'm going to just go ahead and do this, what I was doing. But I like this picture. We're going to keep this picture up, okay? I need you to not fall into this way of thinking. I'm not saying that this is not on the host. I'm talking about this image that the host has here. I don't want you to fall into this way of thinking. This right here is a part of beauty trauma. You got full lips, your lips is too big, your nose is too big, right? I'm here to tell you, you know who got the biggest noses in the world? Jewish people. Okay? Jewish and Middle Eastern people have the biggest nose. Those are the people I've ever seen with the biggest noses. So let's not worry about your nose. Let me tell you something else. But I'm going to show you some other stuff too. Tell you something else that you need to know is key as well in all of this. You can't be looking at other people for comparison. What am I telling you about your beauty that you need to pay attention to on a much deeper scale? Okay. I'm telling you how to manifest for yourself. The beauty and self-care is simply a part of it. And this is all about manifesting for yourself. What do you think your beauty, what do you think the real problem is about your beauty? It's what you get. It's what you get spiritually. It's the blessings that you receive. The fact that when you do something that work, you don't get in trouble for it. But when they do something that work, they do. You see, that coworker that got a problem with the women and the clothes and this and that. No. She's mad at the fact when I went and bought me clothes similar to what the uniform is. It looks just like the uniform. It's just something fitted and tighter on me. I was told I can't wear that. But when you put that on that was fitted and tighter than you, no one bothered you about it. That's what it's really about. Now that's petty, right? It's petty. But even the little petty things are on a global scale. You understand me? It's on a global scale of people. You see how she's sitting up there on top of that, it looks like one of them Roman temples. Yeah. On top of the temple, right? And temple is your body. Your body is a temple. And then you see that woman in the middle looking up at her, and then she's looking down at this woman. No. I'm going to tell you what it is. It is what you get spiritually that bothers them, that they don't like. Things in their lives is not working out. Things in their lives is not happening. Let me tell you something. Before I hung up that fake friend, the situation I was going through was with something personal, right? Now, this woman has experienced the same thing, but worse, and it didn't work out because of somebody in her life, her husband, and his mistakes and the things that he did, right? Now, me being single, I did what the fuck I had to do to keep what I had, but I also cut them off before I did it. See, I felt it in my spirit. Subconsciously, this person wants me to lose everything I got right now. I felt it. I said, subconsciously, this person wants me to have nothing and lose everything I got right now. If my partner was living with me right now, I'm not going to hold you. I wouldn't even want her to be around her friend who's going through what she's going through right now, which is a dire situation, as I say. I wouldn't want her. I probably energetically would not even want her to go over there, because I would know that subconsciously she would want to see her relationship. And I mean, she probably subconsciously feel that way now. Want the relationship to be over. Probably want everything. You understand what I'm saying? Want her to be nowhere, or me to be nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Because it is an energetic thing. And the situation that her friend went through, I said, well, I could have helped her. Well, why did she wait why did she just, because that's the way that they think. That's the way that things happen in their life. Because see, we are women who are aware of the male species, correct? So we have a lot of women out there that are teaching women, men don't know what they want. They don't really have standards, don't wait on no man. Like, and and it applies all the way around in the dating world, right? Because it's, everybody's not dating a man, right? But still, it still applies but for males, it applies a lot more, right? We have that awareness. These women don't have that awareness. They have no idea that the male in their life is jealous of them and wants them to have nothing. They have no idea that the dude in their faces wants to hate fuck them. They have no idea that the dude in their face every day hates them. You see what I'm saying? They don't have that level of awareness. They don't have the level of awareness to know spiritually, these type of people can't be around me. And it's that they talk it because some pastor told them or some shit, right? But they don't really live it. Vivid. So you live it every single day of your life. You work on it every single to point blank, tears, crying, whatever it is, but you live it. They don't. And so what you have to understand about what they don't live vivid or what they don't live at all, you do. And so that's what it is that's going on with people about who you are. And your beauty, your trauma, what they're trying to do is they're trying to slowly in pieces break you down for who you are. They're trying to slowly in pieces break down your shine because they feel like shit on the inside. You understand what I'm saying? And you need to understand that that's what it all comes down to. Why waste your life? Trust me, to anyone, to any of the young bloods out there, nobody's worth it. Don't waste your life with insecurities. They're not worth it. Don't waste your life being around people who don't match you. They're not worth it. Don't waste your life doing it. Don't waste your life even caring about somebody who's trying, because see, unfortunately, we have to get through these experiences before we wake up and realize what people are doing and why we are experiencing it. Because I tell you, it all just makes us elevate ourselves up. It's supposed to make you pull yourself up, not pull yourself down. I go through it now, like when I be like, I put down my beauty, and I know I put down my beauty. But now I'm like, I'm not doing that shit no more. You see what I'm saying? I'm not doing that shit no more. I have things to manifest. I have things that I need to get done. I'm not putting down my beauty no more. Because that's what it's about. I got to manifest. I got to get shit done. I got to make shit happen. StreamYard. Oh, that's her. Let me see what else they talk about here. Again, this is not to this man.
This woman, she was kind of like a middle-aged woman, but I guess she used to be like a Hollywood star. Kind of think of the movie Death Becomes Her, and that's another example too. Like these, with two women now middle-aged, so concerned with, one was overweight, and then her friend being who was this Hollywood starlet who is now aging. And just what people will do anything, and then that this is it's believed that Death Becomes Her, although it's considered a quote unquote dark comedy. I believe that it's kind of inspired by something that's really going on in Hollywood. Think Marina Abramovic.
Okay, let me see what's going on, because I follow this person. Sorry, I was trying not to show this person's face. Okay, that's what this is about. Yeah, no, thank you. Okay. Yeah, don't fall into this argument. Okay. Do not fall into this argument. Okay. Let me see. How I lost my pretty privilege and gained it back. Because pretty is a privilege. Okay. Somebody said the weirdest corner in the nautical community. Okay. Let's go. Let me tell you something. Women, I appreciate women like this and
Want to know the secret to organizing
to that finally get up and talk about these things, right? Because it's important for this to be talked about. I think this is one of the most silent things that has been going on for years. It's more silent than what I have realized, especially women talking about the fake friend situation, because this right here stems from young. Even those of us that have been molested. You know, I'm not trying to be funny, but I have noticed ugly women don't have stories of molestation. Anybody else notice that? And if an ugly woman is molested, she's always like molested by her own family member type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's unpopular opinion, but that's what I've also noticed. Like, there's something that is dark about that. There's something almost dark about that too. Sharing that with the woman who's ugly, that you've been molested as a young age. I just wanted to put that out there. I think y'all know what I'm saying. But go ahead. We're gonna before we get to Exoticals United, because y'all know how I do when I get to the second top of the hour. We about to hit the third hour. Shit. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump into another stream. Give me a minute.